All right, guys, welcome back. Yes, we are going to actually try this for the first time in my life. I have never done steaks, ribeye steaks, especially in a broiler. I don't know why I'm going to cook 3 at a time. They're all not exactly the same size, but I have this handy dandy broiler pan that I got from Amazon. It's from Fabware. It's got non-stick surface on the bottom. It has these wonderful little handles on the side, which should help me in the process of putting them in the oven and taking them out. But all right, yes, this is a product from Fabware, and we are going to get ready to start to broil steaks. Now, the first thing I've been told is to take some paper towels and dry the steak off. Try to get as much moisture off as possible. That shouldn't be too hard for me to figure out. And now the next step is we're going to use Redmond's garlic salt. This is one of my favorite salts to use on steak. Now they say to salt it liberally on both sides. Now I hear a lot of people like to use oil. I don't know why. What's up with the oil? I don't want to be putting oil on my steak. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I mean, unless there's a carnivore type, friendly type oil. I have never salted my steaks before and they always come out amazing. So maybe the oil does something. You guys let me know down in the comment section below. What exactly does the oil do when you're trying to cook your steaks? I mean, maybe it helps, maybe it doesn't. I'm guessing it's all personal preference at this point. But we're going to tamp all these dry just like so. And then we're going to salt the heck out of the other side. Now I have a brand new oven, which I haven't used yet. You know, really trying to figure out how to use this stuff. And I was told to have the oven rack down approximately 5 inches below. So the heating element's going to be up here, about 5 inches below is going to be my steak. And I was actually thinking the oven rack should be higher. You guys can let me know about that too. But yes, I already have sent the recipe to my oven. So basically all I have to do is take this over to the stove, put it in, and hit start for like 5 minutes, and it'll like broil one side without destroying my steak, I hope. I don't know. I don't know. So let's try this out. All right, we're going to carefully take the steak on over to the oven and get it somewhat close and get this broiler started. Do high, we'll hit start. And there we go. We got the broiler all set up. Do I need to do any preheating time? I've watched I don't know how many videos on how to do this and trying to figure this out. I don't know. Do I need to allow this to preheat for a moment? You know, I just wish that people that would do these videos would be really more specific, like really specific, like Crayola crayon, so a truck driver can understand you, especially for people like me who haven't done this. I don't want to wreck all these steaks. Now, if I were to go to the store and buy these steaks individually up here in Alaska, they'd be like $26 to $36 per steak times 3. You do the math. It would be relatively expensive, but since I buy my meat in bulk and cut it up, it's only like $12 a steak. But still, that's a lot of money in steak sitting in this pan. And I'm not getting very good instruction from all these other experts out there, these chefs and stuff that are talking about how to do this type stuff. And I'm just trying to not screw up my steak the first time, because it seems like every time I try to copy somebody else's way of doing something, I wind up in complete disaster. So that might be highly entertaining for most of you watching me destroy my steak. I'll be really upset. We'll eat it no matter what. But okay, guys, the broiler is fired up. It has been running for a little bit. We're going to open this up for right now, and we're going to get these steaks on in there. Now, this is almost exactly 5 inches away from the heating element up above, and we're going to put that in there for 5 minutes on each side. Let's see if I can figure out a cook timer. Do 5 minutes. All right, start that. And as soon as that alarm goes off, I'm going to have to be right back over here and check on these. So I'm pretty sure this should be an easy process. In the meantime, I've been told I have to use tongs. So when I pull that out of the oven, I'm going to have to use tongs to flip it over, because it's very important to not, you know, puncture the meat. That way the juices inside the steak would actually leak out and probably go on the pan and most likely end up giving it to the dog later. But, you know, I'm not 100% sure on how to do this because broiling steak really doesn't seem like it should be that hard if it's seriously only 5 or 6 minutes per side. And then I just flip it over with tongs. How can I screw that up? Is it possible to screw that up with these type of instructions? Because, you know, after all, the whole 5 to 6 inches away from the heating element, I did get out a tape measure a little bit ago, and I actually measured exactly how far that was away, and it was exactly that far away. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe this is gonna work, maybe it's not gonna work. But now, something important that a lot of these chefs want to talk about, they say if you have dirty meat and you touched it with your hands, you got to be sure to wash your hands, then wash your hands again, and wash your hands every time you touch dirty meat. So whenever I touch dirty meat, I make sure to wash my hands, and I usually like to have at least one rubber glove on my hand, just in case this is the hand I want to use, and this is going to be the only dirty hand at that point. So this is kind of why I wear the Michael Jackson glove on the other hand. So since I'm waiting with you guys and I'm kind of getting bored myself, I got this really cool little app on my phone. It's connected to this oven. I guess a lot of you already know about these smart ovens and that you can control a lot of the features on your phone. Simple stuff like I can actually turn the oven off. I can't turn it on from my phone. Maybe with some smart ovens you can, but this particular setup I have here with Samsung, I can't turn it on, but I can send what I want it to do to the oven, and then I just simply hit the start button over there. But I have this cool feature here. I could turn the light on and off, and I'm just so happy because I've been living without an oven light for I don't know how many years, and just being able to have an oven light and a remote control to play with at the same time. I'm probably going to burn this light bulb out playing with it like I am. But okay, we're going to turn that light on. I'm going to go back over there. We should be getting close to time. I got about 21 seconds left on that 5-minute timer. So we should be ready to check on it and pull it out and see what's going on. Wow, that is really obnoxiously loud. And I need to upgrade my oven mitts. These poor things don't look too hot. But all right, we're broiling here. We got to that doesn't look like it's doing squat. I don't think it's close enough. But all right, we're going to flip it. And we're going to do 5 minutes on the other side. I don't think that's close enough. What in the world? All right, we're going to change that a little bit. We're going to move this up. Because I don't believe the guy. The guy's a chef, and he said to do it exactly the way he said to do it. And that's what I thought. We're going to put that back in there. And we're going to put these back on the top. Like I said, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And we're going to put that back. And try this again. Now, since that's already partially cooked, I'm only going to turn the timer on for approximately 3 minutes. Timer, 3 minutes, hit start, and hopefully I'm not going to screw up my steaks, because this is exactly what happens to me when I listen to professionals every single freaking time. Now, I literally did exactly what the guy said. He said, put the broiler on high. I did that. I let it warm up a little bit. I measured 5 inches down from the element. I put it in there. It didn't look like it was doing anything. That type of stuff really annoys me. And it also ruins, potentially can ruin like $75 worth of steak. I'm going to be mad at somebody here. Now, the nice part about 3 minutes is it really doesn't take that long. But since I'm sitting here and bored, I'm going to hang out with you guys for a little bit and talk about like this chef. That I don't want to mention his name because I'm kind of embarrassed at this point. Because this poor guy told me to do exactly what I did. That was not correct, obviously. So I did measure exactly how far away things needed to be. I moved the rack up, so that moves it up almost 2 inches. So we're just sitting right underneath the element right now at this point. And since I'm in a pretty decent broiler pan, it actually brings it up a little bit higher, so I'm that much closer to the element. And in theory, it should actually start broiling at this point. And like I said, I've never broiled steaks before. I do remember as a child when my mom used to broil steaks, she would burn them all the time. So that is what I am scared of. I don't want to do that. And she used to be in tears, and I don't really want to be in tears while I'm on camera. Well, that is like the quickest cook timer I think I've ever had in history. But now at least it looks like something is happening. Because before, something definitely looked like nothing was happening. So it might need a little bit longer on that side. But we're going to take that out. We're going to flip that over. And I'm trying to do this like one-handed. Got my trusty salad tongs ready. Who would have ever thought that salad tongs would be so useful when it comes to cooking meat? Now look at that. That side is nice and red. So pretty. It smells wonderful. This just has garlic salt on it. And now we're gonna put this in and hopefully not make the rookie mistake and grab everything with my bare hands. And thankfully nothing was on this oven. But we're gonna pop this open, put this back in for 5 minutes under the element and see what happens to that side. Okay. Now I think I gotta restart this thing every single time. Hit start, no, timer. We're gonna do 5 minutes, timer. Do 5 minutes, hit start, and see what happens here in just a minute. Now something else I think it's important to mention is this same chef that told me to put my broiler rack way down low, you know, 5-6 inches away from the heating element. He's the same guy that said don't use pepper. I don't use pepper anyways because I do the carnivore diet, and I learned that since I took pepper out of my diet, it cured a lot of my upper digestive issues. Something as simple as pepper. I never would have thought that pepper would be affecting me that way, but it's something I've added to my food for my entire life, and I didn't realize it was creating all kinds of gut issues. So no pepper on my steak, but he said not to put pepper on the steak because it burns. It burns when it's under a broiler. So, okay, we'll see how that turns out. But good news, I only use salt. I am really nervous that this isn't going to go so well. All right, I got about 2 minutes left on the timer over there, so I figured I'd hang out with you guys for a minute because I'm starting to get a little bit bored and concerned about my steak in the oven. And I'm just looking around the floor and I'm just amazed at with all the cleaning. We do cleaning here like every day. My wife sweeps the floor, I sweep the floor. I mean, it's like almost like this house, this is a trailer home, it just creates dirt. And I don't know where the dirt comes from. We have a lot of cats, but the cats pretty much stay in the house. The only animal that goes in and out of the house is my dog. I guess my kids can track it in, but they don't really track in a lot of dirt. They got small feet. I don't know. It's just like constantly cleaning, no matter what we do. We clean, clean, clean. And here lately, the spiders are just coming out of the woodwork. And I don't get it because this is Alaska. We don't have many spiders here. But now that everything's turning into almost springtime, you know, spiders are starting to appear more often, which is odd because normally those spiders appear in the wintertime. All right, it's just about go time. Let's get over here and get this out of the oven and see what happens. Oh, it definitely smells like something's happening in the house. Yeah, I hear some sizzling going on, and oh, trying to get an oven mitt on when doing this. Oh, there we go. That looks better. That even sounds better. Look at that. All right, there's some broiler steaks. Now, honestly, I really don't think the other side is done as much as it needs to be because it wasn't sitting up close enough to the element like it was supposed to be. So I'm definitely going to flip that over and check it out. I don't want to overcook these. That's definitely really rare on the inside. So we're not anywhere close to cooking temperature right now. So I'm going to put it back in there on that side for a couple of minutes. And hopefully I can get that temperature up. Because I could tell just by the way it felt when I grabbed it that it needs to come up a little bit more. So wish me luck, guys. Let's not ruin my steak. In for one more trip. Shut the door. Gotta figure this out again. Hi. Da-da-da. We're gonna set you for 2 minutes. Set. And I hope for the best. Good luck in there, little steaks. Okay, that cook timer is really fast. I do have a meat thermometer over there. If you guys could recommend a better meat thermometer that doesn't cost me a lot of money, I would probably appreciate that very much. So just let me know what you guys are using because I'm getting sick and tired of that little device there. Now this is starting to look like a better result there. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that looks pretty darn good. I do kind of like the air fryer steak better so far, but I haven't tried this. Now that is really tender right there. We're gonna try to get in the steak. Okay, we need to change this up a little bit and set you guys down so I can have 2 hands and hopefully figure this out. Now I was told to take tongs and pick up my steak and go in through the edge. So I want to measure my temperature right in the middle. We'll see where we're at. Already climbing pretty quickly, 107. That doesn't look like it's going to get to where I want it to be. So I'm looking for an internal temperature of about 130 to 140. I'm sorry, 135 to 140. I'd be pretty happy with that. Right now, this doesn't look like it's anywhere close. Let's see where it's going to settle down. Like I said, I need a better meat thermometer. You probably see that a little bit better now with the light on. So we're looking at about 120, 122. It's going to slowly start climbing. I think I need to put it back in there for a couple more minutes, get that internal temperature up just a little bit higher. Now this is kind of stressful stuff here. I'm not sure, you know, what the deal is, but it shouldn't be that hard. It really shouldn't be that hard to, you know, broil steaks. But when you're trying to follow some fancy chef's instructions on exactly what to do, it just creates a lot of anxiety for some reason. And I don't have much anxiety these days, but I'm seriously just trying to cook steak. Now, if I were to just use my handy dandy little air fryer over here, this would have all been done and we'd be sitting down eating steak right now. But I'm trying something new. Everybody told me to stop with the air fryer steaks, cook steak in the oven like normal people do, whatever that means. But yeah, so I mean, I got people hating on me because I use an air fryer to make my steak. Now the air fryer is super simple. I just put it in there, put it on 400 degrees, set it for 10 minutes per side, and then I'm sitting down at the table and I'm eating food. Right now I've been doing this for at least that long, in and out, and I'm still not at a point where I can have steak that I want to have yet, because you know, I gotta wait another 43 seconds in order for this to happen. 3, 2, 1, steak time. All right, pop that out. That's starting to look way better. Okay, I'm starting to like the looks of that. Let's get my little probe out and get it going. We're gonna try getting the temperature on one of these other steaks. I did this one in the middle last time. So we're gonna try this one over here and see what it says. So again, stick your probe in the middle on the side and don't touch any metal with it or else it'll affect the temperature. We're already up to 120, 128. Oh, I think we're pretty good on this go round. 132, we're already looking better. 135, that one's good. Okay, let's pop that one out. Check this one over here on the end. This one was the thicker one, and it was the one that also felt really, really tender like. Already up to 133, 132. It actually dropped a little bit. That's odd. But okay, I'm still pretty happy with the temperature. So we're gonna let these rest just a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and start getting into this steak and see what it looks like. Now I was told it was very important the way you plate this up. You gotta plate it up very specifically. I just like to lay it flat on the plate, and I really couldn't care what these chefs say about, you know, plating food. So we're gonna give this a try and see exactly what happens here. All right, now they say to let this steak sit for 10 or 15 minutes before you slice into it. I am not that kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy that just wants to sit down, eat my food, and get on with life because, yeah, that's just way more fun that way. But I do have to slice into this steak to see exactly what it looks like. We're gonna cut this fatty bit off the end there, make the actual ribeye round, and we're gonna see what's inside this steak. That is perfect. Check that out. That's perfect right there. First try. Broiling ribeye steaks. Now that was a mess. I mean, that wasn't the... I'm going to have to do this again and again and again to get it perfect. But that was far better than what I was expecting. Okay. Now I can see why. Now that is pretty good. That is pretty darn delicious right there. I can't say that it's not juicy. Now the air fryer does provide a little bit better crust. Maybe I should try to adjust my broiling times a little bit and up my skill. That was a super simple way to cook a steak. But after I watched my mom for so many years cook steak and burn them, that did give me a lot of anxiety. I was a little worried about making this not so yummy. That is nice and juicy. That's amazing. Look at that. Look at that flesh. I never even used my glove. I didn't even need it. It's all right, guys. I need to know your opinion on how I did here. Did I do a pretty decent job, you know, cooking this steak? This honestly tastes pretty good. I really enjoy the air fryer steak, though. It's just super simple, easy. But if I'm going to cook a lot of steaks for the family, and I want to cook 3 ribeyes at a time like I just did, I think broiling is the way to go. And it's almost barbecue season, guys, and I can't wait to get outside and start firing up the barbecue and checking that out. Getting everything ready to go for the summertime. So, okay, guys, if you found this video useful at all, please hit that like button. Possibly hit that notification bell for our next upload. You never know what I'm going to do in the kitchen. Quite often, I don't know what I'm doing. So don't take my advice. Probably take somebody else's advice when it comes to doing it. But this is just how things happen to turn out. And I'm pretty happy and satisfied with the end results of that right there. That's pretty beautiful. That tastes amazing. This goes really well with the carnivore diet that I've been doing. And when I eat ribeye steaks on the carnivore diet, I just feel so much better, so much healthier, and it doesn't require any effort whatsoever. Just go to work, buy steak, come home, cook steak. Everything's good. Everybody's life is much better and it's much happier. So as always, guys, I hope to see you in the next one. And my goodness, that is a large spider in there. What? How did you get in there? Check that out. There's a spider in my pan. No, don't check that out. Get out of my pan. Go away. What in the heck? I just had a spider, a big giant spider in my pan. Now I have a big giant spider in my trash can. All right, we're gonna save this for the end so you guys can watch this at the end and maybe have a laugh. Oh my gosh, this is good. Whose idea was this? Do this in the... Oh, it must have been my idea. That's right, because I wanted a bigger oven. That end part is just bomb. Okay, that's where the broiler taste comes in right there, is on that little end part.